Yeah, I can
As we
see the
are
stream.
back live, as far as I can tell. So it did work. We are currently back live. People can watch the game now. We'll see how it works. As we do, of course, get the slight issue with pauses from the spectator side. We just have to wait a little bit.
So, for those people who are just coming back in, MadMen at one point did have a 4,500 gold lead. It went back to an even setting, but then there was a fight around the dragon, which MadMen won. What, five kills to 2 or 3. They managed to get the dragon, and they are now back in the lead in terms of gold once again. And they also have soul as well. So that's going to be a lot more damage coming out from this MadMen side. The MadMen side that even when things were going a bit wiry, were still able to actually win.
Yeah.
We were also discussing that, just this LDR on the side of Tristana maybe not the best item, potentially needing something more like a Bloodthirster or a Shilbo, something which will allow her to survive the engage that the side of Good Chi does have, because whilst Tristana is able to jump away. Oh, hello again.
Yellow. As we do see how it all works.
Yeah, really, at this point in time, it is going to come down to like the next fight, I would say. The next fight, it is going to more or less determine which team is going to win. Because the death timers for both of these teams is going to be around that 40-second mark. Either team will be able to get a couple turrets potentially, and inhibitor or two, able to get that Baron if they cannot finish in time as well.
Yeah. If we take a quick look, Anivia 4.3k ahead, having completed 4 full items against Aris 2.5. On the other side, we still see the same thing happening in top lane, but personally, I'd much rather have this Anivia on my team than the Riven at this side of the game.
Yeah, while the Riven will be able to do some good damage onto any of these MadMen champions, but the amount of damage that this Anivia is going to dish out with the Jarvan, with the Alistar, able to chain together the CC that they all have, it's going to be an absolute nightmare for the side of Good Chi. And we do see that there is a fight happening right now. Valanth down to half HP.
Being blocked by getting out. Bad TP from Money to Make, forcing the ult out early. Now
you see a bad TP.
Playing Ribody, Riven getting Money to Make. A very nice play from this Tristana with the flash to dodge the Ari Charm. Now,
able to again
because Carrot's getting caught in the middle of the team fight.
Only the Caitlyn alive. She is coming down as well. Now, they do decide to go for this Baron instead of potentially trying to win. Potentially, wanting to try and ensure that the next time they do have a team fight, they can just go on and finish it. The amount of pressure that this Baron gives you as well is absolutely insane.
I mean, this Tristana just going to demolish turrets, especially with this Baron buff. So I'm curious to see how many turrets or how much gold even this Baron they will get. Of course, with the kill gold and everything, Baron play already being 2k positive almost.
Yes, I will say, before that fight, it was just around a 2,000 gold lead. That has shot up to 6,000.
Yeah, I mean,
that is absolutely insane to make 5,000 gold. This Anivia is up ahead against her own laning opponent It's crazy to see. And
Damon
once
now
again,
getting
Alistar
caught.
does caught out.
Using the breakable. And he will almost fall. Tough
But you
Smudge
see
falling
the
to the J4. And Damon being alive.
I
Gucci
think that
Donnies
is
just
quite
not having the damage at this point in the game
yeah.
to collapse.
I think that's game. That is just game.
That is game. Baron buff. Wave it's still a bit away, but coming in slowly. Just enough minions to get this tower. And as I said, the Tristana just demolishing these turrets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 seconds per turret. Not even with the bomb.
Yeah,
And that's game one.
Yeah, but Gucci trying to do their best to put all of their damage onto the one champion that can just press R and then just say, hey, like 80% of the damage you do to me, don't care. And because of the amount of effort that Gucci tried to put down to kill this Alistar, it gets thrown right back into their face. Jarvan walking about like he owns the place, walking in and like solo killing two people in I would say a team fight, but it was more an absolute stomp.
Yeah. I mean, close in the early game. Jarvan obviously falling behind quite a bit early on. But they just clawed it back. And as we said, the capability of taking these engages and re-engaging on top of that from the side of MadMen, just clean gameplay. Let's take a quick look at the damage. I mean, this Riven just putting in a lot of work, but a solo Riven can't carry her entire team. Not against these monster scaling champions on the side of MadMen in the Anivia and the Tristana.
Yeah, it was a very good attempt from the side of Gucci. They were able to get some sort of a lead down in the early game, able to get a decent 2,000 goal lead at around the 15 or so minute mark. But they did just sort of play into the shrimps that this MadMen side had. They they were together a bit too much, which just allowed the Jarvan to get two, 3-man ultimates. That Alistar was able to come in, get 3-man knock up, and then the Anivia herself just threw a Q to get 3 stuns. And then just from there, it's so heavily MadMen favored in terms of the team fight itself. And sure, there were some times where Gucci were able to come back into it. They were able to take out the Alistar when he was out of position. They were able to do what they were supposed to do in terms of that pick comp. But then when it comes to late game and they were still targeting the same champion, it's it is a little bit silly. And because of that, that does actually lead to their loss.
Yeah. I mean,
However,
we'll have to wait for game 2.
yep, very good thing. Alistar cannot be played again. Hurrah!
Yeah. I mean, we will be looking to get. We will be looking to get into game. Let's take a very quick break until the next draft starts, I would say.
Mm. Yeah, let's have a little break.
Right.
Rest our voices.
as we had a very short break, now we are looking to get into draft soon again.
They don't respect the casters.
I mean, we are operating on a good 3 minute delay as is required. So
Yeah, that is true, but still, they don't respect us.
they don't. Knowing Damon, they don't respect us. As we are
All I want,
looking to get a quick overview for you guys of the drafts.
all I want from Damon is a kiss, and he never gives it to me.
Yeah, it's one of those chase items that's
So,
we want. As we do now get into the draft.
for those of you
Poppy
who do not,
ban, Camille ban.
for those of you who do not remember which champions are now taken out of the champion pool, we have the Renekton, the Riven, the Jarvan, the Vi, Ari, Anivia, Tristana, Caitlyn, Karma, and Alistar. They cannot be played again. They are completely out.
Yep. Such is
Yes.
Fearless, of course.
Yeah, I do not think there is going to be much changes in terms of the bans themselves, because when it comes to Fearless, you're banning the champions you don't want to see at all.
Yeah.
Not in the slightest, not once.
I mean, in the later stages of of a best of 4, best of 5, there is of course some stuff going on. As we now have the as we don't now do have the drafts from last game up on your screen. Let's find a good
Barely
place for it.
Nasu. Yep. Gwen is one of those champions that can play very, very well, and once again, another one of those champions in the top lane that can be a very oppressive, annoying champion to deal with, another one of those champions which is able to push in the wave, able to come down, help with a gank if need be. As we see a Corki for the side of Mama, along with the Volibear, Volibear, which you brought up earlier on as well.
Yeah.
One of those champions, which is just in general a very good pick, very good in fights, and also very good at picking off champions as well.
Yeah.
The good thing about yeah,
yep.
good thing about the Volibear as well, can be played top, can be played jungle. You are not exactly telling your opponent where it's going to go just by picking it. And one of those very good flex champions, along with those champions like Poppy, like Maokai, etc., etc. As we do see a Mel coming
Yeah.
in for the side of Gucci.
First time
One
I have seen a Mel in VL, I believe.
one of those champions which can just say, "Hey, I'm going to press this one button, and then every single thing you throw at me, I don't care about."
Curiously, no action ban against the Holy Sheep, so he will just pick it.
Akshan is coming.
Action being his most famous champion, I
Akshan
do
is
believe.
coming. I don't know Holy Sheep that much compared to most other people, but with what I've seen of him, he is a good player. Definitely able to hold his own against some of the better players that we have seen in VO. We do see the Braum ban coming in for the sort of Gucci, so that tells me that there's a potential that Gucci are wanting to go something with Engage. Because, I
Yeah.
mean, if you see what Gucci have right now, they don't really have that frontliner that can start a team fight.
No, they don't. I mean, very MadMen basically playing with dual ADC with the Corki and the Akshan. I'll
It
be
would not. I'm sorry. It would not surprise me if potentially Ivan goes Maokai.
yeah. I mean, it is a really nice AOE engaged champion with his ult. Something roots.
I am also just thinking of my time playing with Ivan as well, where when I would play someone like the Smolder, or as I like to call him, Baby. Yep, bro, is another one of those in-game champions as well.
No, I'm curious to see what we will get, because we have two like semi-tank, semi-bruisers. We have two ADCs on the side of MadMen. What do they need to round out of this comp?
It's actually quite hard to say, to be honest, because when you're playing with a Corki, you're really wanting to. Wait, is that a
Okay,
Gragas support?
it might be. I don't hate it against the Rel. Um, Not sure, but we'll have to ask if this is afterwards for in the interviews, if this was like on the fly, like a swap, or if we are seeing this a bit more premeditated.
I'm just curious to know where these champions are going, because I assume it's going to be Akshan in the mid lane, potentially a Kali top against a Gwen. I can see it.
Yeah, I mean, Akali famously being good into some of these melee matchups. As we do get now into. Oh, they fixed it! The Fearless
Yeah,
Band's now actually properly working in the overlay, as you can see.
we just need this for the for the for the beginning draft.
Yeah. I mean,
I'll need I'll need to see the teams again to sort of have get my valuations of it.
yeah.
But yep, I assume they're going to go for the same bands. They're just going to pick their champions when
Yeah.
they come through as well.
In
Either
the
way,
VL
Madman.
in the VL rule sets being uh they are required to do the bands in order of what they did in drafting tool. Picks, as far as I'm aware, are not
No,
necessarily.
yeah, I don't think that matters because you're going to be changing them anyway.
Although the bands do need to be in order. That's required, just fully, no questions asked.
Both of these teams are actually going for a sort of weird skirmish build. To be honest,
Yeah.
neither team really wants to go for a full team fight because there really isn't that much CC on either side.
Madman having some low ranged fighters in the Gwen and the Zinzao. Mel obviously being a bit more high range, but also skirmish champion. Wanting to apply those stacks and just get a mega ult with the execute. And then Madman being more the same style, but then with two ADCs. Corki being a bit lower range, so also skirmish heavy. Action, of course, being able to roam fairly easily. So we'll have to see how it works. I
Yeah,
don't
I'm very much
think
looking forward to it.
we can get a clear game plan from either of these teams currently.
No,
I,
no,
I
it's a very weird one. I don't know what to think really.
yeah,
It's
interesting game. We'll call it.
yeah, it's like both teams decided, hey, we're going to have somewhat different comps in the first one, and then the second game, we're just going to be like, two scrap fighters just going at each other. All it takes is just that one random overhead hook to seal the deal.
Yeah, I mean, That's true for both teams. I think Gucci Donnies will have a little bit easier time engaging with the rel, some follow up.
Yeah, but
On
the
the
only
other
issue with
hand,
that,
MadMen having a bit more disengage to counter that out. So
yeah, I was about to say the only issue with the engage that Gucci does have is the fact that on the side of Madmen, there's so many easy ways for them to just say, "Yep, no, bye."
yeah. As we now are into into the spectator delay. About
Mm.
2.5 minutes left, a bit more. Just steadily ticking down, of course.
This is one of those games where I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens because I genuinely do not know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I have not seen Damon play Gregor's support yet, so quite interested to see. Um, so this could potentially spell a free game series or just a
Just
quick 2-0. It could go either way. Honestly, besides the fact that I now have a better mic, I don't know anything today.
yeah, I also don't know anything, and I just found a game about anime girls racing like horses, and I don't know why I'm so
Isn't
interested in
there
it.
like an actual anime about that?
There is yes, there is an actual anime about it, but I was just scrolling through Twitter and I saw it, and I was like, I don't know why I like this, but I need to get it.
So basically, you're an anime furry.
No,
Horses,
because
anime, girls.
because they are just anime girls with tails.
I see. I see. This is more like the German tanks kind of anime girls with.
Yes, I assume so. Yeah, it's like this is a tank. We're just gonna name it a random animal.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, oh hey, this is the biggest tank that we have ever made. What are we gonna call it? Mouse.
Basically, yeah.
And how much is this tank in terms of the weight? 360 tons.
Yeah. So
What's your favorite German tank?
um I mean it's hard to say. I mm, just I mean I'm gonna go for the basic answer, the original Panther. Well, like a classic tank, you know. I do enjoy that.
You see, for me,
Yeah,
I very much love the Sturmtiger.
yeah, good tank, good tank. I'm not
Very
the
good tank.
tank expert around here. I'll be
Not the
honest.
Tiger tank, the Sturmtiger. I'm just making sure that there is a very clear distinction, okay? It's just a tank with a what was it, a 380 millimeter cannon? Oh, as we're suddenly propelled 17 seconds into the game.
I do apologize. You were distracting with me with tanks. As
Oh,
always,
tanks are the memory.
when I'm casting, I also do the stream production, so just a slight, j- just a slight technical
I
issue.
it's going to be very interesting to see how this Gragas interacts with the rail because I would assume that if the rail tries to go in, that he can just belly flop her, and then it'll stop her.
As we quickly need to reload our overlay software. as we do also get a pause. So that time it lines up nicely with the timing.
It does appear that Ivan did DC for some potential reason. Whether there is just an issue with the English internet at this point in time, I don't know. I will say it's been really annoying to try and traverse Steam at this point in time, but that could potentially be because of the Steam sale coming on, so there's a lot more users using it.
As we are now waiting for
Yep, has there been any
crashed as we are back into the game. We will get another one of those stutters for a bit because of the spectator tool being the same as all the other Riot Games stuff, just a slight bit broken.
Yeah, I will say that even though the side of MadMen do have a decent amount of AD presence with the Akshan, with the Corki, along potentially even with the Volibear as well, there really isn't that much tank presence on the side of Gucci. And even then, there is still the Ari and the Gragas to potentially deal with, because I don't know... Are we going to see
We see the reason why so far in every single game against MadMen Phantoms, action has been banned. Yes.
As it turns out, if you give someone who knows a champion inside and out completely, that champion, it's going to be a very bad time for you.
Also, I believe the only thing Mel can really block in the early game is the passive from the Akshan, but if he just cancels the auto attack, he still gets movement speed, so...
Yeah.
As Damon uses the E, after which the crashdown comes in immediately. Ignite being used onto Smoked Ivern. Flash used from both sides. And
that's one kill. Is it potentially going to be a second one? I don't think so, but that does mean that Kia does need to either, you know, risk staying and potentially dying, or just having to play real safe to try and get that to try and get these minions that are coming out. But that is 2 quick kills on the side of MadMen.
And now you might say, oh, but MadMen used 3 summoner spells. Keep in mind, we haven't looked at the summoners yet, but Damon does have Insealed Spellbook. So, getting his first swap at, I believe, 6 minutes, so it's still a bit out, but he doesn't feel bad about using it, I would assume. As we see the Ignite come down onto money, from money to make, as the Gwen lives with 50 HP.
Yeah, the Gwen will need to recall and also use that teleport to come back. We do see that both of these top laners are both running Ignite and teleport as well. So it seems that both of these top laners do want a very scrappy fight, and I'm also wanting to see that as well.
As we see the engage...
That is half HP already. That's insane.
Yeah. As curiously, we do see a lethal tempo coming out from the Volibear. Of course, the attack speed, the skirmish build. Gwen has opted for a grasp of the Undying. In a melee matchup, of course. Not too tanky opponents, so can forgo the Conqueror a bit. And being herself a bit more tanky, so... You called out earlier that Gucci Donnies don't have too much tank. Well, at least this is compensating.
A little bit. Like, sure, you are going to have a pretty decent amount of HP, but if you're not going to have the defensive stats to back it up, you're really just a HP sponge, and that sponge is not going to last that long. So
overall, MadMen winning early on. Only need one more kill for the feat of warfare.
Already, which is insane, yeah. Yep, just under a 1,000 goal lead at this point in time. It is only 5 minutes in, so it's not like, so it's nothing crazy at this point in time.
Most of it
But
being on the Corki, honestly.
yeah,
10 CS up,
it is.
kill.
It is still a statement. Just saying, hey, if you misposition another time, we're just going to kill you again and again. However,
Volibear
this...
here to help Cloud Hype re-engage a bit. As they are setting up for a very early dragon here from the side of MadMen Freaks. 4 people being
and they
here.
have the means to do so.
As we see, the Xin does invade the Raptors. That's one comp down. That's basically the CS lead for him as well. As MadMen will be very happy with this early Mountain Drake, as it sadly doesn't show up on the overlay, but we'll just have to keep it in mind.
The Corgi playing with fire right there, getting real close to where the rail was inside of that brush. I do not think that the Corgi had any sort of vision inside of it. So a very risky and honestly quite unnecessary play to do.
Corki being alone, having to use the Valkyrie. That's a staggered reset for the Corki.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a massive issue in this early game.
No. As we see Corki with a completed Sheen against the Ezreal now. We'll have to see if Ezreal has enough gold to get it as well on his back. But it's at least delayed. Also early tier stacking. Ezreal has that as well, of course.
Yep.
Hextech alternator completer. Hextech alternator completed for the Ari. And an early magic no magic mental picked up by Smell My Carrots.
Yeah, well, the only thing that
Both nice used. As
the only thing that this carrot is smelling right now is the foot of money to make. A very, very close fight, but it does go the way of MadMen. That is now the feats of warfare taken.
Yeah. I mean, Rabify still looking for something a bit. Money to make. Wind becomes lightning misses, so money to make. Just delaying the death a little bit. Using the Shroud right now. Ult to escape. And we'll have to see if he gets out. Varric being here. And the Holy Sheep as well. The re-engage from the stealth. Money to make getting hit by the ult from the Mel. Holy Sheep has the flash after the exhaust. Varric dies. Trades for Remedy. The Holy Sheep just picking up kills here. Showing his, well, knowledge of the champion and the kill ranges here.
Yeah, it was quite questionable at the start. However, that is technically a what? 4 for 2 on the side of MadMen, and you take that every single day. And I will say, I am going to use the same Dire Straits joke again, but I don't care. They don't call this man money for nothing.
Yeah.
And once again, Holy Sheep just showing why he is so good on this champion. And also the reason for every single team in the future, you need to ban this champion, otherwise this is going to happen.
Just getting... So, what happened there? Holy Sheep got exhausted in a fight. Flashed away over the wall. Re-stealthed. As we see,
and then was able
from Kyra. Re-stealthed, and then used the E plus a flash to re-engage onto the Mel on the other side of this fight. After which it's just getting clean up.
Yeah, also threw a Q beforehand as well to get that little bit of damage.
Yeah.
Which ultimately did keep him alive. So yeah, very, very good good play.
As this is the second objective for MadMen that they will get. Of course, the Mountain Drake not showing on the overlay. But it has been taken by MadMen. And
So they are They are one objective away from getting defeats this early on. That is absolutely insane.
Yeah, I mean, some of the members of MadMen not even having boots at all, let alone completed. So they are way ahead of the tempo. And just taking a quick look at the gold graph, it's 1.5k, like steadily for a few minutes now. As we might see a kill from Money to Make on Tough Smudge. Ignite and ult being used. Tough Smudge not having the flash to escape, so...
I can tell you, whilst he is getting Money to Make, his chicks are for free, that's for a fact.
Yeah.
Another Dire Straits joke.
Yeah.
A band that was very popular back in the 1970s or 80s, which I know quite a bit of because of my time being around England pubs. Absolutely fantastic. You can't go, walking 10 foot without seeing another one.
I mean, Akshan is like swinging like a sultan. Not gonna lie.
Sultans of Swing, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's another kill because of the item that Akali has. Again, we're just these small leads that MadMen were able to get at the start, and they're just getting so much from it.
That's feats for the side of MadMen. As we see now, Damon having a upgraded boots as the only one, admittedly.
Are you sure those are the upgraded boots? I don't think they are.
No, they are the upgraded feet boots, not the fully upgraded ones. Just the stat boost. I mean, actually, curiously enough, Sultans of Swing being my dad's one of his most favorite numbers. He used to work in the while in university. We used to actually design speakers for a Dutch company. Being very much into the audio industry at that point in time.
Yeah, that's really cool to hear.
It's it's one of those numbers where you can just take an audio setup, listen to that particular song, Sultans of Swing by Dire Straits, and just hearing the quality and what can be improved. As we see Akali just running down this Gwen. I think Gwen actually kind of regretting the fact that she took Grasp instead of Conqueror. Conqueror just gives you way more fighting power, especially in this rushes.
I will say that the action actually went a little bit too deep there, but the Sin Sao actually altered him away, so he isn't even this action doesn't even have to suffer the consequences of his over-aggression.
I mean, it's just it is a feel bad moment for Sin Sao doing a reverse insec. That's what we would call it.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. However, this is slowly getting more and more into MadMen's favor. The gold slowly creeping up in their favor. Now we're 3,000 gold lead at this point in time at 14 minutes. And honestly, if things carry on the way they are, this could possibly end in the next 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, 30-minute game not being too crazy, now that you say it.
Yeah, I will say, I think for me, my fastest win in Fio was like 21 minutes?
I mean, just look at this steady gold graph just increasing, and it's not stopping anytime soon, I believe.
If Corporate Mundo saw that graph, he would be very, very happy.
Yeah. The only side of Gucci Donnies that is technically ahead is the Xin Zhao, but he's against the Volibear. The Volibear having so much power with the items that he will get, and just the way the champions interact. While on gold, Xin Zhao is like 200 gold ahead. It doesn't feel like it.
No, not really. And, you know, it's
Clyde
especially because
Hypo
this
flashing
Centaur
away to
really
get
can't get
out.
much movement.
Will get caught here.
Which,
That's a shutdown
in
for
all
this
fairness,
Ezreal.
yeah, I think you're more than fine with that happening, because whilst it is a shutdown being given over, which isn't
It's 130
fantastic,
gold, so it's not
it's,
even too
yeah,
bad.
it, you know, your team, if you want to cooking, you know,
As
you
we
got the
just
Rift
see
Herald,
money to make
you have,
style
yes,
on Smell My Carrot.
it's just insane just how strong Money for Nothing is at this point in time. 5 kills, 1 death, 1 assist,
Ah,
2,200 gold up on his opponent.
will we see the Herald charge? No, Herald is cleared
No,
out.
it's too low. It's too low.
As the Ezreal Pyra just flashing away as soon as the Shroud comes down. And I
Yeah,
think
to be
it's
fair.
necessary there.
Yeah, 100%. It just goes to show how strong this Akali is at this point in time. When you have an assassin who is this far ahead, if you're an ADC, it's almost like you're in a horror game.
Yeah,
Because once you see that assassin coming for you, there is not much you can do.
yeah. I mean, the Akali also having Ultimate Hunter, forgoing the extra gold that the bounty one can give you, just having her ult up permanently. I think I haven't seen Akali without ult, basically, for a fight.
It's insane, isn't it? And we
Engage
just
on
see that,
Tough smash.
yeah,
I mean, that's just so much damage for the entire team of MadMen. I mean, even Damon, Greg is famous for his pretty decent base damages. Just even without building AP, being so disruptive to fights. As we do see
I mean,
a third Drake coming down for the side of MadMen.
yeah. I don't think before that fight, Gucci had to have any sort of desperate play. You saw that tough smudge on this. I've already forgotten her name. Mel. On this Mel actually flashes forward to try and get that snare onto someone, fails, dies in the process, and because of that's like one of your higher damaging people at this point in time taken out the fight before it even starts.
I mean, Smell My Carrot just feeling the need for this early benches. I'm not. I don't think I agree with it, because you do need your core items as Gwen, but I get where he's coming from with this build.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, in doing that, you are heavily delaying your damage output.
Yeah.
And if you're delaying your damage output against this team that is just getting stronger and stronger as the time goes on, your opportunity to get back in this game is just further away than it needs to be. But
You know what?
honestly,
What the most creative build I've
yeah.
seen on a behind Gwen so far?
Was it?
It was a Malignance, which was a build at some point. Just Malignance into Death Cap. Just ults and damage, nothing else. As the Akali gets exhausted but doesn't yet die, money to make getting out and keeping this shutdown alive. Mama
You are seeing
the
just
ult.
you are seeing just how much damage that this Akali is able to do. Even when there's 3 people around her, she is still so confident to be able to go in, get that kill, and get out like she just did. And also, Smell My Carrot once again going down, because what even though you do have this Banshees, all it takes is a smite, just like you saw from the Volibear. Takes it down, gets that stun, all that damage comes down. That's another turret gone as well. 10,000 gold difference before 20 minutes.
I mean, the gold graph has grown steadily before, but it's ballooning now, even further. Just, I don't think MadMen have been on the back seat this entire game at all.
No, and you can see that for a fact. There is no blue in that graft. Absolutely none.
Yeah.
And honestly, with both of these teams more or less trying to play the same way, when you have one team that's this far ahead, you have to think that it's such a rough time to try and get back in this game. What can you do?
Yeah. I mean, first of all, I think as a Gwen, you just build damage this game. You just try to one-shot someone. As we saw earlier, Akali did come pretty close to dying. I think as Gwen, if you have just that pure damage output, you might be able to shut her down. And then I think you just need to rely on the Mel and the Ezreal just to control and poke fights. And just have the Xin Zhao and the Rel just focus on nothing else than keeping this Akali out of the fight. I think that is supposed to be your game plan, at least. Akali being 2.5k gold ahead doesn't make it very easy, however.
No, it never does. When you have someone who's so far ahead that they can just buy a whole item over you. But, I mean, then again, if you look, the Akali isn't the highest one. Because you see that Akshan is 3,000 gold ahead of his direct opponent.
Yeah. I mean, I will look if we can quickly see the golds. The difference per champion. Akshan being on 10k gold actually right now.
10,000.
That's a good 3-4k ahead of everyone on the enemy team.
Mm-hmm.
Akali now hitting 9k, also quite far ahead. Joseph,
Yeah, this is one.
What do
for
they
the
do
record.
this game? If you're Gucci Donnies.
It's so hard to say because you really do need to try and find a way to get the shutdown on either of the Sakali or this Akshan. But they're so slippery that even when you had 3 people around the Sakali, you couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But we do see here the Akali potentially
might
going
fall
down.
No, she gets
Like I
out.
said, what can you do? So slippery. There's 20 dashes that the Sakali can do. So it's like, oh hey,
Yeah.
even if you do get the jump on her, you blink and she's gone.
I mean, I do like this play from Gucci Donnies. They get the top tower with the objective bounty gold. And they will get a second tower. While they are doing this, they are forfeiting their soul. MadMen, of course, having three dragons already. The first Mountain Soul not being shown. As Gucci Donnies do get their second tower top lane. Their second tower of the game, actually.
Yeah,
Gucci
no, they
Donnies-
got.
That I must say, for a desperation play, that's not the worst you could do. It's a bit
No,
late
it's-
in the
it's-
game, but
No, it's not bad. I mean, like those were the first 2 turrets they got in the entire game, but that is still that is still an
That's
okay
extra-
gold for everyone.
1300 gold for the side of Gucci Donnies. Just with those
Yeah,
on top of the tower gold. That's just
Yeah,
the
100%.
power of these objective bounties.
yeah, but
As
to be honest,
MadMen,
I don't.
as you can see, have not ballooned their gold. That is a really healthy gold injection.
Yeah, there is a very
Basically-
clear bump.
Besides the Gwen, all Gucci Donnies now have hit their 2-item power spike.
Yeah,
still
it's now just a
behind,
case of. Yeah, it is now a case of like, is that small little boost of gold that you got? Is that going to be enough? Is that enough for you to be able to somehow try and find a way back in this game? I don't think it is going to, with the amount of poke and the amount of movement that, like, just look at that. That
that's
is insane.
2-3 autos and a Q? I mean, the holy sheep just on these 3 items with the IE, with the LDR, Lord Dominic's, like, that's such high damage.
Yeah, there is absolutely no way for them to be able to stop these 2 inhibitors from going down. Sure, the Gragas is at half HP, but the Gragas is not the issue in that team.
Greg is also healing up with his passive, of course. We can quickly check. It's 130 health per cast. On a
Nice.
how much cooldown? On a 8-second cooldown.
That's
8 seconds.
all right.
That's quite alright.
Not to mention that just Gragas in general is just very annoying to deal with because of his ultimate as well. But with these two inhibitors down, MadMen will be able to get so much pressure on this top side, potentially even be able to get this Baron as well. And once they get this Baron, that is most likely just going to be it.
Yep.
That is that is going to be GG, because the amount of goals that that's going to give MadMen, it's going to potentially give them the chance to get those last few items that they're going to need to just win the game.
I mean, Elder also still 2 minutes away, so otherwise I would imagine that this is a bit harder for MadMen, but Gucci
Like
Donnie
they-
now
you know-
looking at this bot lane. Also, again, the objective bounties.
Mad-
but MadMen
MadMen-
just sieging the top side.
MadMen don't even need to worry about the mid lane and the bot lane because of those super minions coming in. So they can invest every single person on their team into this top side, going to go get this last inhibitor, which then means that all three lanes are going to have 2 super minions. It's going to be so much harder for Gucci to get anywhere in this
And
game.
there's still so much time left on this Baron.
Yeah. Just look at the damage that's being brought down as well. Like Ezreal was at 1/3 HP when everyone on the side of MadMen are just completely fine. There's going to be one final fight. The Rail going in along with the Xin Zhao. The Xin Zhao has gone down. The Akali going down there, attacking them out, completely gone as well. There's Ezreal all by himself, and that is that. That is the curtain call. That is a very easy, quick 2-0 from the side of MadMen. This second game being a significant improvement over that first.
Right, let's take a quick look at the post-game overview. It needing to load in just a little bit, and we'll.
Akali and the action are going to have such massive damage graphs.
Yeah, I mean, that's 20k damage in a 27-minute game.
Insane.
Pretty decent.
Absolutely insane.
As we do have a interview almost ready. I do need Clyde to come into the green room for the interview, as we have him. As we have him
he's
set
saying
up
that.
currently. He is here. Okay, let's get him in. Hello, Clyde.
Hello.
Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
How does it feel? You guys have been on a winning spree lately.
Yeah, we have. I mean, it feels great, of course. It's great that we won the first official that I participated in, and then we are continuing it now. So,
I mean, you of course being the new ADC for MadMen. For the
yes.
in case people don't know, how does it feel? Like, how have you been fitting in to the team? Not having too much time to practice. The bye weeks helping a little bit, of course.
Yeah, of course. The bye weeks helped a bit with us getting some more practice in, but this was actually one of those times where we just get into the team, and after the first tryout, everyone was just like, "All right, we need this." We played so well together in the tryouts with in the first scrim we had that we just decided. Jonas just decided instantly, well, do you want to stay? I was like, yeah, I definitely do, because there was so good chemistry in between us all.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. You have played 2 officials at this point in time. The team beforehand was struggling a little bit, and I will say even in the first series that you were in was a little bit shaky at the start, but you managed to compose yourself very well, get that win over Black Lotus, and now you have this 2-0 win against good Donnies, one of those teams that are trying to be able to get into that top 2 spot, which you are stopping them from getting. This win as well is getting you closer and closer to securing the spot into the playoffs as well. How does that feel as a player coming in and just knowing that your presence alone is able to bring the confidence up in everyone else around you?
Yeah, as you said, the first games felt a little shaky because it was our first official, but at the same time, we also felt confident that we could turn it around because no one tilted in it, and we just kept it together and took 2 games in a row in the first official. And after that, it's just been a really good feeling that we know now that we can work really well together. There are, of course, some things we can improve on, but it's just been really great just knowing that coming in and seeing how the team has completely swapped around from having 2 losses in a row to 2 wins in a row all of a sudden. It feels great, man. It feels great.
Yeah,
That's
it's
good
a
to hear.
very good sign of things to come. And I will say, in this specific series, how does it feel seeing your mid laner and your top laner just get so far ahead that you could essentially just sort of sit back and just go, yeah, don't really need to do anything?
It feels absolutely great.
Oh
Absolutely
yeah.
great.
Yep.
Especially in the second game, man.
Yep.
The second game was just it was literally just saw them getting that far ahead, and I was just like, "Well, great job, guys! Great job, guys!
Mm,
Now I don't really have to do anything.
Yeah.
yeah.
I can just sit here and be a minion."
I
Yeah.
do have two quick questions though. What was the reason that you decided to go Lord Dominus Regard in this first Tristana game over something like the Mortal Reminder or some anti-heal?
Yeah.
I was actually speaking with my team at that point when I was recalling to buy one of them because I actually had gold for either of them,
Mm-hmm.
and we were like, well, we don't really need Mortal Reminder in the state we are in right now, because the only healing they had at that point was the Karma, I believe. So we just decided to go for damage at that point.
I
Yeah,
see. I see.
I personally felt like you should have potentially gone something more like the Bloodthirster or the Shilbo, because in that sort of team when there really isn't much of a tank to begin with, it's more about ensuring that you survive what they tried to dish towards you. Because there was one fight specifically I saw where if you did have like one of those 2 items, you could have potentially, if not like guaranteed yourself to be able to carry on living and get some good damage down. But
Yeah, normally I would,
that's me watching it as an ADC myself or an
yeah,
ex-ADC.
normally I would say I could have done it, but at the same time, in teams, it's just better for me to just get as much damage off as I can, even if I do
Mm-hmm.
die. I know people have this outlook on ADC that you have to play passive, that you have to play to survive to do damage, but that's not actually something you have to do.
I see.
As long as you get down the most amount of damage that you can do in a fight before you go down, if you can, let's say I can get the Ari and Caitlyn killed by stepping up and then killing one of them, and my team can kill one of the others instantly, then now we already have a man advantage. So it doesn't matter if I'm actually dead, especially if we can
Yeah.
kill one of their carries as well.
Right.
I can find the specific parts after the stream so I can show you what I mean.
Yep, yep.
One quick final question. The Gragas, was it a premeditated flex or was it just in the moment, let's put him against the Rel?
It was actually not a flex pick to start with.
Okay.
It was meant for, I think, jungle. It was no top. It was meant for top against the Gwen,
That's
and
what
then
we
we
thought, yeah.
saw the Rel picked, and then Damon was just like, actually give me give me the Gragas because it's unplayable for Rel into Gragas.
Yeah.
And well, we saw the result of it. So
Yeah. Good drafting, I guess. Being
Yep.
flexible. All right. Before we let you go, you want to shout anyone out? Anything?
I mean, Pillow, our freaking coach code, giving us actually listening to our feedback and giving us, because in scrims we've been trying a lot of stuff out that we might not be comfortable with, and then he listens to that feedback and we go and turn back to everything that we know and can work with in our officials. And then of course I have to shout out Damon and our jungler, because in this series they just kept me alive, kept me going.
All right.
And our top and mid, they are just they're the goals of this series. Man, they got so far ahead.
All right. Thank you for being here, as we have I Smoked Ivan lined up for a quick interview as well. I wish you luck on your next game. I believe if you win next game, you are guaranteed into playoffs.
Yes, I believe we are.
So we'll have to see how that pans out. All right, best of luck to you.
Yep, thank you.
As we have I Smoked Ivan. Hello, welcome.
Hello. Can you hear me right?
Good, my sexy
we can
man.
hear you, right?
Hey, Boo. How are you both doing?
I'm doing fairly well. Just
Yeah, fine.
Twitch issues, the same.
Never changes.
Now, first and foremost, it must be a quite annoying loss to deal with, especially with, if you had won this, it would have just completely guaranteed you the chance of coming into playoffs. It is still in your hands at this point in time. Oh no, you've played all your things now, haven't you?
Yeah, we got bye week next week.
Yeah,
well, not bye week,
because,
but like a free week.
but yeah, but Red Pandas wasn't there. I mean,
yeah.
So there is still a good chance that you are going to go into playoffs, but it now comes down to how the other teams perform as well.
Are you any nervous about it?
Yeah, I need to.
Unless you are guaranteed. Let me have a
I'm
quick
not sure.
look.
Yeah.
We are
Because
having a quick look.
because even if Northern Spirit or Mog Squad both win,
I think we'd be tied then, right?
It is.
but
I
you have
do
more
believe.
points, I think, as well.
Do Northern Spirit Esports Red still play? I think they still have a game. Yeah, they have one game left against Celestial Shadow. If they win that, they are tied with you guys for, third/fourth, depending on if MadMen Phantoms win their last game against Mock Squad.
Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting to see what happens, but
yeah, I don't know how the tiebreakers play out then.
I don't know either. It's VL. There's always some random fucking rules.
I do believe that.
I think we beat them, so maybe that helps. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm having a quick look. You guys did beat Northern Spirit Esports Red 2-1 before. So if I am not mistaken, that means that you win out a tiebreaker if they have it. But then MadMen Phantoms having the win now over you guys, of course.
Yeah.
MadMen and Northern Spirit Esports Red do have the win over MadMen Phantom. So if MadMen Phantoms lose next game and Northern Spirit Esports Red win, it is a three-way tie, I believe. So we'll have to see what happens. I mean, Celestial Shadow being quite far ahead in their group, so and Mog Squad a bit lower in the tier, so I do expect you guys and MadMen Phantoms to get into playoffs. That is my prediction hereby.
Now let's talk about these two games themselves. Game one, it was looking a lot more even. You were able to get a small little lead at the start, but then some unfortunate team fights happened, which dragged that gold advantage away.
Yeah,
you managed to crawl back a little bit, but then at the end you were just focusing a little bit too much on the other star, whose ultimate button is just Haha, funny go button.
I mean, I see cow, I kill cow. You
Yeah, pretty much, cow.
know.
But then the second match comes along, and it just feels like at no point in that it was in your favor.
Yeah, if I'm being honest,
When
I
you
think it was just like Draft Kingdom. Like they had so many
mm,
like weird picks we weren't expecting. Like the Anivia game one, like we didn't see that on the like champ pool at all. Same with the Akali game two, and then like the Gragas flex was crazy. Like that went super hard into the rel. So like yeah, props to their draft. Like their draft was insane.
mm,
I see.
it I mean, yeah, it does just go to show how important drafting is when it comes to these these 5v5 tournaments and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I think
What?
yeah, it's just
Yeah.
their drafts were crazy and like we weren't expecting. Then I think it maybe just got into our heads a bit. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like it's
Yeah.
probably the worst we've played the whole split so far.
Mm.
I see.
What
But
lessons can you take away from this?
I don't know. Like we didn't see any of those champs. Like it was really hard to like predict that coming.
Yeah.
I guess just like I don't know, because I'm pretty sure we looked at their APs before and didn't see any of them. So I'm not sure
Yeah.
what we could have done other than maybe like change up our drafts a bit. But
We did
yeah,
hear earlier in the interview with Clyde Hype that the Gragas was a spur of the moment thing where Damon said, "I wanted it into the rel." So
yeah,
I'm not sure
that's
you could
super
have
cool.
seen it coming.
Yeah, we were sure that was gonna be top,
Mm.
or maybe jungle even. But yeah, it was crazy. It goes really hard into the rel. I can like never engage.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Yeah,
think
we did see that
rough
happen
games. Perfect.
quite a few times. Yeah. Yep, it's one of those unfortunate situations. There is still a very good chance that you are going into playoffs, if not like a guarantee already. Either way, you have been in a situation before with me in Division 2 where the group stage was not the best. And then
I think that's
suddenly,
every VL run I've
yes.
done. Like when I
And yeah,
was Div 3, we lost every game basically, and like just scraped into playoffs. Then went on like an undefeated run into finals.
yes. I was literally about to say, in our Division 2, our change from the group stage into playoffs was frightening. It was
Yeah,
insane
yeah, it
how
was
much
crazy.
we changed in that small little time. But it does just go to show, it doesn't matter where in the playoffs you are, as long as you can get into playoffs, work on those small issues that you do have, anyone can still win it.
Yeah, I'm still confident. Like we've been picking up pace like a lot pretty recently. Like we had like I mean we got 2-0'd by Celestial, but if you watch the games, they were pretty fucking close. Like
Mm.
I
we
mean,
were almost taking them off them.
Celestial
So I mean,
winning almost every division at this point in time. So
It does seem like Celestial is going to be the team to beat.
yeah, they're really good. I mean, yeah, really good. The way they play is pretty crazy. But
I don't. To be fair, I don't even know what members or what people are on the Celestial team. I'm not even in the VO. I can't see.
Celestial's got a Lamps Bomber.
Oh, right. Okay.
yeah. Right. Before we let you go, do you want to shout anyone out? Thank anyone?
Just like the whole team. Yeah, we've all been like putting in a lot of effort, doing like a lot of like coaching sessions, a lot of scrims. We're all putting in like a lot of work, so just, I appreciate all of them for doing that.
How's the vibes in the team?
Like people are disappointed about today. Like I'm never really like
Understandable.
someone to tilt. Like I never really get like pissed off about these sort of
Yeah.
things. But
Yeah, that
yeah,
was
just
normally
people are a
me.
bit like annoyed and frustrated because we know we could have done
Bef-
better and maybe drafted a bit better.
Before going into the game two, both Joseph and me were like, this could completely go either way. We don't know. So it's a bit unfortunate that MadMen got ahead early on and snowballed from there. But I think you
Yeah,
guys showed that you're still definitely a playoffs team in Div
yeah.
1.
Now we know they've got the Akali and the Anivia. Maybe we can if we play them again, we can plan around it.
One
But
last
what
thing
others?
before we actually let you go.
Yep.
So, MadMen Phantoms have had a track record with a particular ban. I believe it's been banned every or almost every game against them. The Akshan.
Yeah.
Question mark.
I think if I remember right, mid said if they get Mel, it's fine. I can't remember the exact wording, but
I mean, fair enough. Didn't
yeah, I
work
mean,
out this time.
I think
Maybe
his
next
accent
time.
went really hard. Like, yeah, maybe next time that's a ban.
Yeah. Or maybe
But yeah,
next time
we
you just
live and we learn.
win against it. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you very much for
Thank you very much.
for coming over. Yep.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Kiss, kiss.
Kiss, kiss.
Play some
Thanks
more
for the
Counter
stream as
Strike.
well. Always, always.
All right.
All right.
We will wrap
GG's.
up the stream.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for being here for the interview.
No worries. Cheers, guys. Bye.
All right.
Yeah, and that was the MadMen Phantoms versus Good Chi Donnies, a quite convincing 2-0 if you just look at the second game. Either way, it was very fun to be here to cast once again.
Yeah. Thank you very much, you as well, once again,
Yeah,
for
that's all right.
being here with me. Production value tripling with you being here, of course. So
I'll do my best.
all right, we will see you all next game on Monday. We will be casting. Let's see. On Monday we will be casting once again, and I believe it'll be it'll be one of the games. I believe the Div 3. See you all next time. Bye.